One and done.
Hello, viewers. Welcome to another episode of One and Done. Today, we're going to be talking about Eric Andre's Bad Trip. I think this is a pretty great raunchy comedy. It's got a lot of pranks, a lot of goofs, and I felt like it was hilarious. And it was a surprisingly wholesome movie where everyone's just being pranked, but they're actually really nice about it and trying to make the world a better place. What did you think, James?
Yeah, I like Eric Andre. If you don't know who he is, he has a very absurd kind of mocking talk show on Adult Swim. He's very chaotic, has some very meta, absurd humor in it. This movie is a prank movie, so if you like Borat, this movie is a little more accessible and slightly less vulgar at times than Borat is. There's still some shock humor and some male nudity in it for those who aren't into that, but it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. I think the pranks are more lighthearted than Borat. These pranks kind of bring the good out of people, as you mentioned, Charlie, instead of just looking for the bad like Borat does.
Yeah, I really like how he kind of like mixes in the pranks with like real life Hollywood tropes where it's like things that you see in Hollywood, but he's doing it in real life with real people where he just like stops mid sentence and is like, "That's the love of my life," and like, "What am I gonna do? Should I go date her?" But it's just like normal people on the street with like no music and no editing, and it's just really awkward and funny.
Yeah. That's the real gem of this movie is like he'll like be breaking out in song because he's in love and feeling great, so he's just singing and dancing. And like us as viewers think it's hilarious, but he's just in a mall with normal people who don't know they're filming anything, and he's just like jumping in a fountain, singing, screaming how much he's in love, just doing crazy stuff. And there's a lot of them just like, oh, what's going on over here? So it's very very silly, and it's
Yeah,
not like mean spirited pranks, which I appreciate it.
yeah, it's mostly just him self-deprecating or making
Yeah,
fun of himself more than he's making fun of people. Where something like Borat is kind of making fun of how dumb America is when he's just kind of making fun of himself and how absurd Hollywood is. But if you're a fan of Eric Andre, I feel like you're gonna love this movie. It's a lot better than his stand-up comedy, and I feel like it has the same pacing and style as his TV show. But the only drawback it is missing our boy Hannibal Burrs. But in this one, his BFF Bud is a great Bud.
yeah, he's a good bud. He's kind of he plays a great straight man to balance out Eric Andre's chaos and his just high energy. So it was good. It was very good. Honestly, go watch this movie. I don't want to spoil any of the pranks. Eric Andre is a great comedian. If you don't know who he is, I highly recommend checking out some of his clips on YouTube. He has some good from the Eric Andre show, some good pranks as well. Very similar to this movie, but the movie does a great job of tying in a typical story with the pranks. It's not so much story and prank. The pranks are incorporating the story as it goes, so it all ties together very nicely. Much more than like a Jackass type movie or like Bad Grandpa or those other prank movies out there. This is probably the best prank movie out there right now.
Yeah,
That I've
especially
seen.
as far as story goes, it's a very simple story, but I feel like it fits the what they're trying to do, and it's just a good way to split up the pranks with a little bit of lighthearted plot.
Yeah, so go check it out. Do you have any final thoughts on Bad Trip that you want to tell people about?
No, I highly recommend it if you're in the mood for some laughs and some goofs. Go out and watch it. It's a great movie. I found it hilarious. And if you liked this short few minute review, go on our main YouTube channel and watch the main hour long podcast and give us a like and a subscribe.
Yeah, check out Playhouse Reviews. We do a spoiler review, getting down to the nitty gritty pranks, what we loved, what we maybe didn't love so much, and we talk about a bunch of other cool movies too. If you don't like Bad Trip, maybe you watch Thunder Force, the Melissa McCarthy movie. Go watch our long review of that. We have a weekly show, so check it out. So subscribe and get all of our content as soon as it's uploaded to YouTube.